Hello and welcome to The Confused Yorkshireman. I'm Ben.
I'm Frank!
I'm George.
We've all got questions for each other, and I'm going to kick it off with a big one. So, how do you think the universe is going to end, and is anyone going to be around to see it?
Well, for anyone to be around to see it, if it's ended, that means there's nothing there. So if someone's there, there's something there. So it's not yet ended, has it?
I guess, but is someone going to be there like just before the end?
Yeah, but if it's just before the end, are they going to see the end?
Okay, that's okay.
Are we taking it out of context and saying, are they going to be there just before the world ends? Is the world ending going to take them out? Is that what you mean?
This is pointless semantics, George.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
We've got to clarify these questions. This is a very broad question.
It is a very broad question. Like,
well,
are you implying that will human civilization last until the end of the universe? Is that what you're implying?
Or just any like intelligent civilization?
I mean, firstly, you're assuming that other intelligent civilizations exist.
Well,
let's set something right. Let's assume other civilizations exist other than us. Okay,
well, we're running with that as a base assumption.
Yeah.
And let's assume that what we're saying is the world, the universe ending takes them out, and that's constituted as seeing it.
Okay.
Because the way I think the world's going to end is, have you heard of the Big Crunch? I know you have.
I have.
Oh, where as it's all going out, after a while it goes.
I think
we're coming back.
Yes.
I think what's happening is because the Big Bang was based on an explosion, it's just pushed everything away. But once the force from that explosion stops pushing it away, then gravity's going to take back.
It's
all come back, and then it's just all condense up.
Dark matter's pushing everything away.
Yeah.
But eventually, the theory behind it is that gravity is going to be the overcoming force. So everything's going to pull back in.
And then it starts another Big Bang because everything's
which is called the Big Bounce. It's like, I don't know if you've seen it, that Future episode. I don't know if you remember it.
Yes, I do.
So they all get in a time machine, but they can only go forwards in time.
Yeah.
And they accidentally go too far forwards. And so they just get depressed and decide to watch in the universe.
Yeah.
In the end, they just watch the Big Bang again. And because the Big Bang happened in the exact same way, all the atoms and molecules and everything scattered in the exact same way. So history happened the exact same way.
Which is...
and so they just got to the point.
Decision from Matt Braden. Not going to lie.
If we're taking that, though, then that's not the universe ending. That's just a cycle resetting.
Well, it's birth and death of the universe.
But okay, so now we've made the jump onto, is everything predetermined?
I think entropy definitely takes a place in it. I don't think everything's predetermined. If you're saying that in a million, trillion, billion years, there's going to be a George sat here recording a podcast with you two because everything's reset.
Yeah.
You're going to be very disappointed because you'll be like, wow, George should have made some better
I
friends.
don't want another George to have to put up with the life I have. I feel sorry for a million, billion years ahead, George. This will be a recording that he won't ever see, but I'm sorry for you, George.
I can promise that this Big Crunch and Big Bounce theory is the most uplifting one out of all the other theories.
Well, that's true. It's based on the idea that at some point, right, gravity will just become stronger. Because a lot of these things are so far away from each other that the gravitational field isn't affecting them. It's not like anything's currently in an orbit. There are things in orbits, but there's no big core gravitational force that's pulling anything in right now.
Yeah, but we don't know that
evenly.
Well, if you think gravity is getting weaker and that because everything's getting further away, do you believe in the Big Rip theory?
I just think it's going to be entropy, Ben. I'm not going to lie.
But do you know what the Big Rip is?
It's just where it all just fucking... What does the Big Rip do? Sorry.
So, because everything is constantly expanding.
Yeah.
It ends up going down to the molecular level. So even the atoms and particles begin to get further away from each other.
Oh, yeah.
So eventually everything's just going to be like protons and neutrons just flying around. And they're going to get so far away that they can't even touch each other because gravity is making them move faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, like genuinely, it's just entropy. It's just what's currently happening. Like things are still accelerating further and further apart from each other. It's gonna happen.
It's just gonna make a universe very lonely. It's just gonna be protons and neutrons on their own.
Yeah, but
forever.
Are we gonna give a fuck? The protons and neutrons aren't gonna feel lonely. Like they're not gonna look at each other and go, "Oh, I wish I could go make friends with that neutron over there." Like,
yeah, but you don't know that. What if protons and neutrons develop a brain?
Okay.
An atomic brain.
If they start building brains out of quarks, George, I'm not gonna lie.
Can you prove to me right now that the atoms you're made up of don't have feelings?
Can you prove to me that there isn't an invisible dinosaur in your house? See, when you start going, can you prove to me something isn't real? Like, you could just say fucking anything, George. I could go, can you prove to me that if I ate 20 tons of coal, I would not gain fire powers? Like,
what I'm saying is, we're just, as a brain, as us, we're just taking in data, taking in information from the universe and interpreting it.
Okay.
Atoms and everything like that are still getting exactly the same data, but we don't know how they interpret that data other than reactions and things like that.
They're just fucking atoms. They're just affected by forces. They don't react to things. You can't get a fucking emotional.
But they do react to things. That's why it's called a reaction.
Yes, but they don't fucking consciously react to things. It's like you getting set on fire is your body reacting to something. You're not consciously igniting. You don't go, yes, I have been set on fire. That means I should ignite. That's not how that works.
I mean, you got a point. I'm just throwing some curveballs out there.
I'm enraged. George.
There's no theory that really annoys Frank.
Oh, fuck
called
no.
Simulation theory.
Oh, fuck off with your simulation theory. I hate it.
Why do you hate it? Why
because
does he believe it?
Yeah, it's how do you disprove a simulation? But once again, it's the whole theoretically you can't disprove it. But even if it is real, literally changes nothing.
I know, but it's just a theory behind what this universe could be.
Yeah, but if it's a simulation, right? That means there has to be a real universe somewhere, right?
Yeah.
At that point, you've just moved the question. You've gone, I don't know how to answer this question, so we're not going to answer it.
We're not talking about another universe. We're talking about this universe.
Yeah, but if we're talking about the end of it, what is someone just going to turn off the plug, or is it going to be a bug? Is it a bug in the system?
Are we a bug?
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. Or it could just be when you die in the simulation.
Yeah, what's the point in making a simulation, though? If we have our lives already, what's the point in simulating life? Unless we
have you ever played a
video game ever?
Yeah,
why would you play a flight simulator when you could just be a pilot in real life?
Do you still got to spend how many hours in flight simulators as a pilot?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I can't talk because in every role-playing game I play, I become my character. Even though I'm controlling on a mouse and keyboard, or controller if I'm lazy. If I want to sit back. It's lazy, isn't it? On a mouse and keyboard, you got to sit here all properly. And it's tiring.
Yeah, I slouch the entire time.
They get off track here.
Yeah.
Where were we? End at universe.
Simulation theory. Yes,
I don't think it's a simulation. I
think there's a possibility it could be.
Right, sorry about this cut, guys, but our recording cut out, so we're just going to go from here. Frank, you were explaining why you hate simulation theory. Would you like to pick up on that?
It's less that it's nothing as a statement. When someone goes, yeah, but the universe could be a simulation, I'm like, but that doesn't fucking mean anything, because you're still implying, right, there is a universe, so that universe has to end. And if this is a realistic simulation of a universe, surely that means the universe out there is still following those same rules. So you've just gone, I don't want to answer this question, I'm going to make up some bollocks.
But then, it's maybe we're doing this simulation.
That Zeus isn't throwing every lightning bolt.
Maybe we're doing this simulation to simulate the end of the world, so that outside of the simulation we know how to deal with it and prevent the end of the world.
by doing that, they'd have to program in a solution to the end of the world.
No, they program in the parameters and run a simulation, because you don't predetermine what a simulation is going to do. It runs itself and then gives you an answer.
I mean, is there any kind of solution to an end of the world, to the fucking entropy of the universe? Like, if the atoms are literally flying apart, you can't stop that.
Well, if we were superhumans, we were nearing the end of the universe, we had unlimited power. What's stopping us from doing that?
What do you mean unlimited power? If
we harness the power of the universe, but we don't yet. The one thing
to
we
make
haven't
a simulation this complex, you need to have made like a Dyson sphere around a star to have enough energy to be able to do that.
Oh, Frank's face there when you mentioned the word Dyson sphere.
Why
Is
do you
that
like
like
Dyson
vacuum?
sphere? What's wrong with Dyson spheres?
Okay. People like have this image of the Dyson sphere as like this whole like material covering a star, right?
No, it's not like that. It's more you get a bunch of satellites that's covered in mirrors and it.
Yeah. But
yeah,
you want to
to
cover the star, right?
It's you don't want to like encase a star. You just need.
Okay.
There'll be like gaps in between it for the mirror.
Yeah.
I don't explain it. It's like you just have a bunch of mirrors and you just send like
you have a light
into one bit.
Wait, are you talking about the Dyson spheres around stars, or the ones around, or the fucking like black hole one that people just like?
I'm on about the star.
The star one.
Yeah.
Because the problem is, right? I don't know if you know this, Ben. Stars are pretty fucking big.
Yeah, it's easy to make it around a black hole because they're a lot smaller.
Okay, yeah, but there are other technical challenges that
I'd like you to say that to a scientist, Ben. It's easy to build
in terms of like material cost.
Okay, but the thing is, in order to make it outside the gravitational pull of the black hole, it would need to be even bigger.
Yeah, it needs to be like around the ergosphere.
The ergosphere of the black hole, yeah, which is fucking huge. The problem with every single one of these ideas of like a space development thing is how much raw material would we need to do this? Like, people, when they theorize these things, they're like, wait, they don't take into account the fact that the amount of raw material we would need to do that is more than like the mass of Earth.
I don't think it is, you know.
No, it's not.
I think in terms, because if you think like certain area, definitely, yeah, but actually, the actual density of a planet, I think there's enough material.
What are you making this
build satellite?
What metals are you making this
I watched Kazar's video.
I watched a video about 2 years ago.
Yeah, and they were making the Dyson sphere sort of thing around the black hole. Yeah. And they said I needed a 10 centimeter thick like mirror sort of material.
Okay.
And they said
not taking into account the
fact enough from like a large asteroid to make it, and they do a lot of research. I'm just saying.
Okay, so how big is the ergosphere of a black hole?
Well, we talking about black holes or Dyson spheres? Ergospheres or Dyson spheres?
Size of a
ergosphere is like an area around just before the event horizon of a black hole. That's what an ergosphere is.
Horizon.
So
yeah, so like the event horizon is the point of no return when you go into a black hole.
Yeah.
The ergosphere is the part just before it, and you can escape it. It's just you probably won't feel very well when you're going through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing about the Dyson sphere around it is, because
do you know how big an ergosphere is, Ben?
How big?
It's 10 light days.
Which is smaller than the sun.
The sun
I
is.
don't think the sun is 10 light days.
That is not correct at all, Ben.
To build a Dyson sphere around the sun.
Okay, size of the sun.
Yeah, but how close do you want to get to the sun to make the Dyson sphere? You need to be quite far apart.
Yeah, but okay, the size of the sun is only like a near 700,000 kilometers. Which, if then you're taking like say an extra 100 kilometer, actually like 200, 300 kilometers, how fucking big you need to be to not have that.
I don't know how close you need to be for a Dyson sphere.
I don't fucking know. But the simple fact is the amount of material you need is fucking huge.
That's the radius of the
you
sun.
mine out Mercury, wouldn't you?
So it's double that for the actual.
Okay, can we not just take random planets out of the solar system? Because what if they're important?
What's important about Mercury?
I just don't want to fuck with orbits. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like
Mercury's tiny. It's not gonna do anything to us.
Okay, you say this, but it's like we can't just start willy-nilly removing things.
We don't need Mercury.
What if it's important? the orbits are in equilibrium. If you like, just fucking. Also, what are you gonna do with Mercury? Just take it apart.
Yep.
Okay, how much of Mercury do you reckon is usable material that isn't just a fucking rock?
Rock usable material.
There's stuff on Mercury.
Okay, how much of a Dyson sphere are you gonna make out of rocks?
Well,
also, if we like.
I hate to tell this to you, Frank, but in space, mass doesn't matter. So you could just make the back panel of the mirror out of rock and then just stick a mirror on there. As long as you propelled it into space, you can just. What's everything in the universe? It's just big rocks flying around, isn't it?
It's true. It was all just big rocks.
We just be putting big rocks with big mirrors around the sun.
It's just
and then infinite power.
The amount of resources required is insane.
But it'd be worth it.
Yeah, but you
think of the amount of power you could have
back from the sun.
Like, yeah, but how much power are you gonna have to put in to fucking take Mercury apart?
Well, it's an investment, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's an investment.
That's true. Yes, but
and
we can't.
You won't need people to go over there. You just need robots to go over there.
Can't convince world leaders to put like.
All you need is to send a robot and make a small base, and they can make their own manufacturing thing to make more robots there. And they use materials they gather from Mercury, and then they can just start making the Dyson sphere.
And I know this leads into a bad situation where the robots.
Anyway,
are like,
going back to the question, how's the world gonna end?
Well, if we talk about the heat death and big freeze of the universe, and then if there's a civilization that's lasted long enough to be there, then they are probably capable of making a sphere around a black hole.
At that point, you'd want that, because at that point,
that'd be the only thing you can do.
That's all the resources you've got. You pour everything into it.
Yeah.
I guess. But even then, are black holes infinite?
No, they give off Hawking radiation, so eventually they will die out. But it'll still give you a lot more life.
Yeah, but it's still finite.
But it's going to take a very long time for a black hole to die out.
Yeah, but black holes are a funny one because they manipulate time as well. So
it's only when you know it.
It's less that black holes manipulate time and more gravity affects time.
Yeah, and it's more like time ceases to exist when you in it.
But does that mean for black holes, since a black hole has to be in a black hole, right? Does that mean they're in their own?
Yes, technically.
In their own
you know what I mean? They have to exist within their own space.
Yeah.
Does that mean that time relative to a black hole is different to us, so they experience
time doesn't exist inside a black hole?
Then how does a black hole expire? Because
the Hawking radiation
it gives off Hawking radiation.
And it
how does that Hawking radiation get out if there's no time for it to?
It's from the outer layers, basically. So the core
of the black hole's not aging.
So in essence, Hawking radiation comes off. This is a fucking vast.
I haven't read his dissertation.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Hawking radiation comes off, and because it's energy, that is the mass of the black hole. Mass and energy are the same thing. So as that Hawking radiation comes off, slowly, fucking really slowly, the black hole slowly loses mass, which means over time, from basically the outside in, time would have begun to affect the center of a black hole, basically. It's like if you went to a black hole, orbited it for like a year, you'd come back out and, I don't know, 10 years would have passed for you. Sorry, 10 years would have passed outside, but for you it'd only be in a year.
Sorry, I've seen Interstellar.
Yeah, it's Interstellar. It's that plot. Apart from the weird book room they've got at the end, where it's like, run through the magical book room that's in the black hole.
It's
like,
just a big library in the black hole.
Yeah, it's like there was a fucking. You should have built a library in the black hole. Foolish decision.
Maybe that's where the library finds Andrew went.
into a black hole. You know what? Sure.
I thought it was Burn. Oh, is that the second one?
That's what they want us to believe.
I think Ben's thinking about the Tower of Babel, but suddenly got struck down by God.
Are you saying we're going to have a super species living around black holes to witness the end of the world, running their simulations, trying to find a way around?
They're probably playing this simulation right now because it's so dull living around a black hole.
Are you implying that
it's not dull living this simulation?
We're gonna die, wake up. I'm gonna turn around and be like, "Oh, I just tapped whoever was playing Ben this whole time." Oh, all right, just leaving an orb. Like, that's a good character you picked there. Like your character choices, like, and then we just dive back into
the simulation because I hate whoever picked me. Jeez, couldn't have made me better.
Are we playing MMO right now?
Yeah, but is it online or is it simulation LAN?
Oh fuck! I gotta do my dailies. Oh my god, do
your dailies. You have to do your dailies. Yeah. You have to go to work and do your dailies.
It's a simulation.
I hate this. You know what, Frank? I agree with you. I hate this theory. If this is what the world is, I'm not sure. I don't want it not to end.
Like, if someone turned around to me and told me the universe was being run by Blizzard Entertainment, and I needed to,
God.
Firstly, I'd just start crying.
But right, get this: if world's a simulation, where's the microtransactions?
It's called money.
Money itself isn't a microtransaction.
Maybe you pay more to be born in richer families.
What? So you're saying we aren't aware of these microtransactions that go on?
They're like,
our player just puts their credit card, whatever it's called.
It's just not like Anduin knows about buying store mounts on in his world, is it? What a walker.
You've got a very good point. I hate that so much.
Andrew just turns around and, we must stop the horde from purchasing our storm mounts.
Wondering where everyone is and they just haven't paid the game time yet.
Where is my grand champion and his 7 million friends?
Is that how many people play WoW? 7 million?
Probably not. It's probably less.
It's ticking down. It's dying.
Yeah, after we left.
Yeah. We left and they went, oh. Man, I wonder what's going on in that WoW Discord. I'm going to look now.
Okay, can we stay on track?
8 million people in 2020.
We need to stay on track. That's true. We should stay on track.
So, how's universe ending? Which one were you deciding on?
I think entropy. I think it's just going to slowly fizzle out. And sure, it's depressing. And, like, you know, it's like, oh, all the photons and neutrons are going to go separately. But we're not going to be there for it. Like...
Yeah, I think heat death. But I want to believe Big Crunch.
Like, Big Crunch would be nice. But also, it doesn't matter if it's Big Crunch.
I would say I believe it's Big Crunch, and I don't even think the universe is going to end. I think it's just a cycle, and it's just going to reset. But I don't think that everything's going to happen exactly the same, because that's stupid.
Okay.
That's stupid. It's not.
This is like the 20th time you said that.
I mean, that's because... the cycle is just...
There's already been 20 cycles before me.
Maybe more.
Well, it's infinite, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're not getting into how did the universe start. That can be another question. Let's save that.
The thing about the Big Crunch is it doesn't matter if it's real because our universe is still going to end.
Well, the thing about all of them, it don't matter if it's real because we're not going to be there. So who cares anyway?
It doesn't matter when we step out.
Well, who cares anyway? Let's move on to the next fucking question.
What was the next question? Was it me next? Was it Mike?
Yeah, it's you.
Okay, a bit of an easier one, less philosophical. If you just magically had £1 million, it just appeared in front of you. Magically, not the £1 million isn't in cash. It's just on your debit or
your bank
if you want.
Yeah,
just
like,
in your
what
bank.
The fuck happened?
You don't affect like inflation or anything.
Okay. It is affected by inflation. It's in your. It's not even in a savings account. It's just in your direct debit. You've got £1 million. You know that it's not dodgy and you're not frauded. It's actually genuine. It's legitimate.
Does anyone know?
No one knows apart from you. You knew you were
it's not
getting this money, and you know it's legitimate. It's not illegal or anything like that. You've just got £1 million, and everyone accepts that you're a millionaire once you tell them. But no one knows yet. What do you do with your £1 million?
Well, it sounds boring, but I'm going to invest the majority of it.
How much would you invest?
I'd say at least 80%, so 800 grand. Because I know I'm 22 years old, and I know £1 million isn't going to last me the rest of my life if I just quit my job.
So you're aiming to quit your job?
Oh, my aim in life is to retire early and just enjoy life.
Be rich.
Are you saying you can't enjoy your life when you're not retired?
I'm not enjoying life while working a full-time job and being exhausted after.
I know the feeling.
So yeah, I want to invest the majority of it. I'd probably look at like dividends so I can get passive income.
What sort of thing would you invest in then?
Mainly stocks. So definitely like the S&P 500s. Because that just always goes up.
I don't know what the fuck a P500 is.
S&P 500, so that's the top 500 companies in America. Okay. And if you invest in that, you're never going to go wrong. Because even if one of them fails, you still got 499 to back you up.
Oh, okay. So it's like a group thing. It's essentially a trust fund.
So you're just going to do that and just live off a compound interest. Put your interest back into it and then take a bit out when you need it.
I've got 200 grand to play with, to have fun with. Something that I'd really like to do is learn how to fly like a helicopter or like a prop plane.
So you're still living at home with your parents, but you know how to fly a helicopter. You've not bought a house yet, Ben. You've not moved out.
Well, I'm not going to buy a house anyway. I'm going to finish my apprenticeship. I got it right now. I finished my apprenticeship, get that qualification, so I've wasted 2 years.
I think if you had £1 million, but I don't think you'd bother with the rest of your qualification.
I just feel what I've got like 3 months or so left. I might as well just finish.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Would you not?
I'd get a house, sure. Yeah, I could get a really good deposit on.
Really good deposit.
I won't buy it straight out. I don't know. I'd have to do my own research.
Straight out. You would be a millionaire, and you wouldn't just buy a house.
No, why would I need to? I'd put down a big deposit.
It's just for the flex.
If you buy it, you own it, so you don't lose any money if you sell it. So why not buy it?
No,
it's just like doing your investing, like you say, but you invest in property.
Yeah, like, not gonna lie, you could become like a landlord immediately. And that's just easy fucking money.
Well, I could just get multiple houses, put down multiple deposits, and rent out a bunch of them, and then I'd pay them off really quickly.
And then you're part of the reason why we have a housing problem.
Well.
I like the look of like shame there. Of like, yes, I would be contributing to the housing crisis. Like,
I'll try and be a good landlord.
I'll be a good landlord. We all tell
if I don't do it, other people are going to do it.
That's the same justification that people have for like.
Be very careful with it, Frank.
I'm trying to think of something like where people are like, if I don't, someone else would. It's like, it's just, I don't know.
Well, anyway, what about you?
You can't say anything bad about this because you're thinking about.
I am thinking about it.
Getting a house to rent out.
Yeah, but it's really just because it's easy money. It's just funny.
Well, that's the reason behind it. I just want some passive income.
Yeah. And as long as you're not being a cunt, I guess it's fine. Like,
yeah,
because a lot of the people, because a lot of time when you're renting for people that don't want to buy yet or anything like that.
Yeah.
So Frank, you've also got £1 million. What are you doing? Warhammer.
I'm not going to just buy £1 million worth of Warhammer because, firstly, I'm never going to paint it all.
Just a quick question for you: do you think you could pin £1 million of Warhammer in your life?
I mean, if I like just bought like the most expensive ones, like least
That's a
model.
lot of
Keep in mind,
to
you
do.
spent the entire million, so you still have to work a full-time job.
Yeah, his full-time job is painting Warhammer and selling them.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, £1 million. What are you doing, Frank?
I don't know. There's like a couple ideas. Like, there's the immediate like where you're thinking like, do I just invest it? Do I just be boring and just go, yes, I will invest this and make it like I get dividends and basically all the shit Ben would do. Not gonna lie, if I got £1 million, I probably would turn around to Ben and go, Ben, what the fuck do I do with this? I'm terrified.
So you tell Ben you're a millionaire now.
I feel like of all the people I'd tell, it's gonna sound weird, but Ben's probably would be the first one because I feel like he'd be one of the most mature about the situation.
Why so? Houses.
Yeah, you'd be like,
Split some houses.
Ben would be like, oh, okay, and then he'd whip out his 4 folders of investment planning that he has for like, so we've got stocks as an option, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Yeah. Whereas I know that like if a couple of my mates would be like, how many hookers can we get? And I'm not gonna lie, when they turn around to me and go, Frank, we could have 100 hookers a night for a week, I'd be like,
they're very expensive hookers.
I mean,
where are you going for these?
A couple of weeks. I don't know. We're going. It would be. I don't know. Do we just go for one really wild party? That's an option.
I mean,
like
your money.
It's true, but I think the thing about the investing is, if you do that,
you'll
then
have
you can have
money.
Multiple really wild parties.
Investing's the smarter option.
Yeah.
It is the
if you had that money, do you think you could be smart, or do you think you'd give in to temptation?
Because I feel like I'd have to separate the money up. I'd have to give myself something to placate my temptations.
It's like if you win the lottery, you can choose to get it all in one or in installments.
I can't remember how that works because one of them like gets taxed the fuck out of your ass.
Yeah.
The way lottery taxes work confuses me, and I'm not.
I don't know. I don't play the lottery.
I don't play the lottery.
Instead, you just invest in stocks, which is basically the same thing.
Not really.
Oh, you don't even get me started. I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday about stocks and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, it's just an extra tax." I'm like, "You don't know how stocks work, do you?" Like, yeah. I'm like, "No, you don't. Stocks aren't a tax." Oh, anyway, that was just.
She's thinking of it like
shares, so you don't get taxed on it anyway.
She just thinks you won't get anything out of stocks, and you're just wasting your money. I'm like,
I don't think it's just gambling when it's not.
That's what she said. You were gambling, and like, it's not.
It is technically. It's just there's the idea that
it has risk to it, but it's not. It's calculated. It's not like
if you're trying to do like
you just think about it more. You just like throw some money in it.
You don't like double your money up at any point. Just to like, yes, a 4% increase. This is it's essentially a savings account.
Well, I think the stock market as a whole, it goes up by like 7% every year. I think
that's for all the money. How does it go up? The stock market decides how much the stock market's worth. This is a rigged system.
Yeah, but then you compare it to how much inflation is every year, and that's 2%. And then how much you're making your savings, which you get like 0.5%, 1% a month.
I'm not gonna lie.
You lose
this
money.
Conversation feels incredibly boring.
To put it in basic terms for you, Frank, the rate of inflation at the moment is 2%, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in 25 years, your
money
will be worth half the amount it is now if you leave it with that inflation affecting it. So say you had £1 million now, you didn't do anything with it.
That's fucking
in 25 years, it's worth.
I'm going to spend all my money as soon as I get it.
No, because that's why you have stocks, because they are affected by inflation.
I love the look on Ben's face there. I'm like, this motherfucker. I'm just gonna live life off my ass. I'm gonna get my paycheck, blow it all immediately on Chinese food, and fucking let's go.
Buy Chinese food. If you could have any food, buy Chinese. You could have all these fancy exotic foods that you can't have.
Yeah, but
you only get them in a certain country, and you have to fly to that country.
What I want
Yeah, you want Chinese.
I want mixed meat, fried rice, and chicken curry. I'm a simple man.
What, every day?
Oh, until I get bored of it, and then
Frank does not get bored easily.
I do. I'm a man of simple pleasures. Like.
Anyway, I'm going to put the question back a little bit and say I'm going to focus in on who would you tell? Because I think this is a very risky thing telling this. Because if you tell, I mean, people are going to find out anyway. But if you go to your friends like, "Oh, I've got £1 million," that puts you in a very delicate position because now your friends know you're a millionaire and they're poor. They're poor and they have that.
I feel like I'd start investing first, sort that out, and once that becomes a stable income, and say I start investing and building that up. Once I'm in like a good position, then I start letting people know. And even then, though, it's only like my core group. Because I know that what I do, I think one of the things are like if I won the Euro Millions, because I was getting Euro Millions tickets at some point. The idea was I'd just invest it all, and then after like a year or two of buying multiple businesses and getting that income in, and just whatever the fuck I'd end up doing with that, just buying a bunch of houses basically, turning around to all the boys and going, "Oh, by the way, I'm a millionaire. Also, here's a house. Also, here's a house."
Oh, so you're giving them as well. Because I was going to go into that as well. Like, no one's mentioned yet giving any money to anyone. Because I definitely give money to my parents. Because I feel like I am so indebted to them.
We probably sound like massive dicks because we haven't mentioned charity at all.
Well,
I'll be honest with you. I mean this seriously. I don't think, as a millionaire, you should have to donate to charity. I think people who don't have £1 million think that.
I would rather be taxed the correct amount by the government to actually give the money that is needed to people. If you get me, I'd rather know that my tax money is funding the NHS and that I'm funding that. I'd rather know that the money's going through correctly, because it's really annoying that like the proportion of income that goes basically like, if the poorer people generally are paying a higher proportion of their income, which is fucking nuts, right? Like, because when you get to a certain point of richness, you're just like, oh, it's all going through my business, and you're not paying a lot of tax on.
That's why rich people are rich, because they do, rather than doing that, they do it through businesses, they do it through stocks and things like that. The people who get affected the most are the people who don't invest in things. They just get their pay slip. It's easy to tax, so they tax the hell out of you, and then you're poor again because you've been taxed. And then they complain about it, and then they complain about why the rich people aren't getting as much tax. But it's just because they're not doing what the rich people aren't doing.
And there's solutions.
Poor people spend the money, rich people invest the money.
Yeah, which the problem is, a lot of times if someone's poorer, they don't have the extra income with which to invest. When you're rich, you can cover your base costs, and then you've got extra money that you can just throw into making more money.
That's why you need to be smarter about how you spend your money.
Yeah, but that's true. But if you're minimum wage and you're having to, say you're minimum wage and you're raising kids, right? You don't have any spare money. You've got your bills, you've got your utilities, you've got to fucking cover all this other shit. Like, as soon as your car gets fucked, because you've got to get a car to drive to places, like, one accident, like, your insurance is skyrocketed, you're fucked. You're in such a... The people at the bottom are at such a fucking precarious position purely because they can't defend themselves. A lot of them can't invest. They don't have they've not been taught to invest. They don't teach you in fucking school investments.
What I was just about to say is, to be blunt, they're there because of the decisions they made. That's why they're there. They're in that position. But I'm not going to say it's their fault. I'm not going to say it's their fault. It's because they don't know how. Like you said, in school, we don't get trained in financing or anything like that. We don't know. We just do whatever feels right, and that leads these people to end up in these situations. And then when you're in this situation, you can get out of it. You can get out of it, but who's going to get out of it? It's that much work.
It's very difficult.
Like you'd have to grind for 10 years or so to get out of that.
And I'm not going to lie, 10 years is like, what, 15% of your life? Let's not think about that.
Yeah.
like or like 11%.
Back to how we'd spend our money.
Back to how we spend. Sorry, I feel like I have to I have to respond to what George said. I feel like a lot of the time, people that are actually rich are rich. I'm not talking middle class, because middle class is like you can work your way up from working class to middle class if you do it right. Like you can do that. That is feasible. Upper class, like your proper fucking richos, they're rich because of their family was rich. They're rich because they had that initial money. Because once you have that initial like starting point of money, you just make more. Money makes money.
I do agree with that, but what it is
work your way up to middle.
When you're saying middle and class, if you work your way up to that £1 million, you're where the upper class were when they started, which means, yeah, you're behind, but you could still do everything that they did.
Say you take 10, 15, 20 years to get there. Say you come out of education at 18. You take 10, 20 years. You're now 38. They are not just... You now have what? 22 years till you retire. Well, not actually, because it's like the fucking thing like that.
Well, speaking about that, Frank, you may have started later, but you've got a lot more experience and knowledge than when they started.
Oh, that's true.
So you can do a lot more with what you've got, and there's a lot less risk there.
You're still asking people to put aside so many years of their life just to catch up to someone who started with that silver spoon. And it's never going to happen, because if someone turned around to you and said,
it's never going to happen if you don't believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, you have that mentality.
If someone turned around to you, George, and said, you're basically not allowed to have fun for the next 20 years. But after that, you'll be at the point that these guys started at. No one. That's
life isn't fair, is it? You just gotta do what you do to get there.
But the argument I'm making is no one who is a millionaire or a billion, definitely not billionaires. None of them are there because of purely themselves. There is no such thing as a self-made millionaire. Go fuck yourself. There is someone else who has given you that initial capital, right? Someone else gave you that starting money. Millionaires make millionaires, not someone working their way up.
Apart from the question that George asked us, where £1 million magically appears in their bank account.
Yeah, £1 million. Yeah, if
a small loan of $1 million
randomly assigned to people. Yeah, but the thing is that money came from something. Like, yes, you can work your way up into middle class. You can work yourself up into that comfortable environment for you and your kids and all that. But it is difficult. It is a fucking grind to get there from, say, lower working class, where because of the way where you were born, you went to a school that wasn't very good. You ended up with employment that was that you are basically exploited for your fucking labor. Like where there's like you've got. You're kind of trapped in that, and it's really hard to get out of that. Like a lot of the places, especially
it's hard, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but like that's like saying, but it's still the fact that it is such an uphill climb is the problem, and you can get into middle class. That is an option, and that is admirable. The people that work their way up and can get into that, I respect it. I don't respect the people that start with that £1 million and then or get it from somewhere else, or their father, or they inherited a bunch of houses and sold them off, and they act like they're self-made. They act like they did it themselves, because they didn't. They lucked out, and they think that because of that luck, they're better. There's this is it configuration? There's a word of where two ideas get meshed together. I can't remember the word. But it's this idea of a overlay of the rich people have to be rich because they're better. Otherwise, that makes no sense, right? How else would they be rich? They have to be smarter.
I think a lot of modern day rich people would disagree with that. I think there's a lot of people who are rich who are like, yeah, I don't deserve this. I think that's just
then
a completely different question.
Why don't they pay the correct amount of tax? Why is it that Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Jerry down the road who works in a butcher's.
So yeah, there's something I'd really like to know. What would George spend?
Oh yeah, sorry, we'll go back on that. We've been on a fucking
I've tried to pull it back because this is going to be a long one. But
yeah, it's getting political as well.
Yeah, get political. With Frank here. Politics Frank. But
you started it. You do this.
I asked this question, yeah. But I think first thing I do is I work out a safety net. Like, I'm not a millionaire now, but I've still got a safety net. I think it's most important thing you can have because there's nothing to say that I'm not going to lose this £1 million because I'm not great with money. People think I am because I've got a safety net, but no, that's just because I've got a safety net. But I don't know how much I put into a safety net, probably like 10,000 at most. So even if I blew it all, I'd be back.
Depends what your expenses are.
Yeah, but first thing I'd do is I'd
just because you've got more money doesn't mean you need to spend. You don't need to change like your lifestyle.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I'd change about my lifestyle at the moment is I'd probably continue working my job at the moment until I figure out what I want to do. Even though I don't really enjoy my job, I want to do it anyway. But I mean, more money, it's better than doing nothing. But first thing I do is I'd get a house because I'm planning on doing that anyway. Then I'd take it from there. I'd probably, like you said, Ben, invest.
Yeah.
Just because the only thing I care about in that sense is inflation. And I don't want my money to be half of what it is in that many years. So if I am lazy and don't do anything with my money, don't start a business or something like that, then at least I'm not losing out on money just for being lazy for 25 years, which I can see me doing. I'm a very lazy person. I am. I hate to admit it, but I am. Unless it's video games, I'm very diligent in video games. If
you told us that you had the money, we'd make you do stuff.
Yeah. To be fair, if I had money, I'd do something with you guys. Like actually put invest into that and try do something.
I feel like that is a good idea
with you guys. I feel like I work good with you guys.
Yeah, that's why we're doing a podcast together.
Yeah, that's why we're doing a podcast. We didn't know if we're secretly all millionaires. No, we're not.
Yeah, I'd like to add to my answer.
You think I'd have a cream egg here just if I was a millionaire? I just got a cream egg.
That's just like Ben said, just because you're rich, it doesn't mean you need to live any different. If you're rich and you want a cream egg, you get a cream egg.
That's the problem with some people. Like when they get more money, they change the lifestyle and they end up spending more, and then they lose all the money then.
If I were rich, I'd still drive a Citroen C1 because it cost me £35 a month to fuel.
That's pretty fucking. That's a pretty good deal to me.
And I don't have a reason. I mean, Teslas are cool, right? But do I need it? No.
I get a hybrid, at least.
In fact, yeah. Think about environmental. I'd like to be environmentally friendly.
Yeah, because I'm not a fan of my Citroen C1, to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd get a fancy car just to flex. I wouldn't know what to do.
You can't drive.
I can't drive, but
You're gonna get driving lessons with your money?
Yeah, probably.
I think you're rich enough to just buy a license. Just say government, I can drive now.
So you played with video games, you know how to drive.
Yeah. I know that you brake into a corner, you don't accelerate through it. I keep making that mistake in Vauxhall.
You just hold down brake, just reverse.
Yeah, if you hold down brake enough, you reverse. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to add to my answer there. I think I'd finish my apprenticeship and I'd probably take like 2 years out just to do some traveling or figure out something to do.
Ooh, that's a good thing. We're not even touched on traveling.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too much. I'm in the grind mentality. Like I need to do this now, then I can party, travel, whatever I want to do later. Which I don't think is a very healthy thing to think.
Yeah, I'm not that much like that because when do you ever think you're ready to have fun and spend your time how you want to?
For me, it'd be that point where, like you said, when you can retire, when you don't have to worry about work, where you can always
65.
No, because let's think about if you were making millions of pounds, there's nothing stopping you from retiring. It's only if you wanted more money. Because even if you retire, you can always go back into making money. And you can be retired and make money.
Yeah. All you need is like 20, 30 grand a year. Really?
Yeah, that's better than minimum wage.
Yeah. I'm on minimum wage right now, and I'm getting like...
You're living better than you are right now, and you're not working.
I know.
Oh, God.
Wait, how much...
God, we're dreamers, aren't we? We're not doers. We just dream about things. Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine.
Just wait for this podcast to pick up.
Man, that Dollar Shave Club money.
Don't mention the name, we're not sponsored yet.
Yeah. Well, Frank.
God,
Can't just free sponsors.
I know.
Anyway, to round up the question, as a whole, Ben, what would you do with £1 million?
Invest. Well, I hope it's pounds because it's worth more.
Yeah, it's worth quite a lot more.
Yeah. Invest majority and take like a couple of years off just to travel the world and figure out what else I want to do in my life. Maybe even start a business.
I feel like I'd probably do the same, but after like a couple of years of just sort of investing and sort of getting money back after a while, I'd then like reveal it to everyone in like an elaborate display because I'm a slut. I'm a slut for theatre. And would just be like, and here's everyone.
What would the display be?
I don't know. I'd just invite you all to like a party, and then midway through the party, I'd be like, "Oh, by the way,
a party at Frank's dad's house." We think we're just going around to play Dungeons and Dragons.
But yeah. Or I'd probably have moved out by then, and I probably would have just said, "Oh yeah, I just ended up having the money." Like,
oh, but Frank, if you moved out, I'd be like, Frank, where do you get money to move out?
I'd be like,
you'd be like, no reason.
We all pay into Edge.
And I'd be like, my grandparents, they died. I got the money. It's fine.
I messaged a Nigerian prince.
Yeah, I received a message from a Nigerian prince that gave me. It turns out it was legit.
Anyway, I've caused the tangent. Frank, what are you doing? Sorry.
And then I'd like in the middle of the thing, I'd just turn around and be like, "Oh, by the way, guys, everyone have a house," and like just fucking, and then that's how I'd out that. I feel like it'd have to be my closest boys.
Yeah, I think I'd do something very similar. I'd definitely put some money aside for my parents, just because I'd feel bad not doing anything. They wouldn't want me to do it, but
my parents would be the first.
I wouldn't let them not.
I think the money I make from all the investments, I'd help people out.
Yeah, I think what I go into is property. I'd do that thing where you buy cheap property, do it up, because I've got the money to do that, and then sell it for a profit.
Yeah,
I'd like to do that, and I think I could, if I was doing that, I could quit my job, and my full-time job could literally just be doing up houses. Because I'm not going to lie, that sounds quite fun.
Oh man!
Well, you're going to do it.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like something I want to do.
Split.
Three-way
I'm going to be a qualified joiner soon, so I can do some woodwork stuff.
You can make doors, new doors. We can put them in.
I'll make cups of tea for us all. Yeah.
So, big conclusion for that is
invest.
We're all invested in something.
Yeah, we're some boring people.
We are. Yeah, but life is boring, isn't it? Anyway, I'm not asking that question.
What if I just have a hooker every day until I run out of money?
How expensive is your hooker? I'm saying this, but I don't know how expensive a hooker is.
I'm going to Google it.
I mean, it varies, doesn't it?
I'm going to Google it in an incognito.
It depends on what you want to do with her as well.
Sex.
Yeah, but any particular things.
I want her to hold me and tell me it'll be okay.
Oh, that's a lot of money, that is.
God.
I hate that you're looking this up, Frank.
Oh my God.
Is this in the UK as well?
How much prostitutes earn?
Would you stick to the UK ones, or would you try all different countries?
Well, if he's doing another year where he's traveling, it needs to go.
Why is there a post on Mumsnet? Why is it on Mumsnet?
It's anyway.
Okay.
Are we moving on to the next question? I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to think about this either. Frank,
£150 for an hour.
You don't need that long.
Yeah, you only need 15 minutes.
Well, I'm assuming they go for like an.
They go for like an hour. Can you? Anyway. Frank, stop.
I can wash my dishes afterwards. It's fine.
Frank, what's your question for?
I fucking forgot about this. So, you are trapped in a room, a blank room, with just your wits.
Is it
30 foot by 30 foot? It's a square room.
Okay.
Completely blank. There's no like cover or anything.
Is there any doors?
There's no like escape. There's no out.
So is it all one colour?
Yeah, it's like all white.
Just a white room, okay.
Yeah, you're in a void. It's fucking terrible. Okay. You've woken up and you heard over the tannoy that I have told you. I am asking you Okay, you are fighting an animal in this room. What is the smallest animal you would lose a fight to in this scenario? And I'm saying it's a fight to the death, right? And whichever one of you dies first is the loser.
This is an important question. It's going to sound weird. Do I have my clothes on and shoes, or am I completely naked?
Yeah.
Clothes and shoes. Clothes and shoes.
Clothes and shoes. Because I was going to say like a Black Widow. Because even if you step on it and you've got nothing on, if they get that bite, it's technically a draw because you're dead. But if I've got a shoe, I could just step on that.
If it's like an insect, is it a swarm or just one of them?
Just it is one animal, and it's the smallest one that you would lose a fight to.
And it's always a blank room. There's no water, so we don't have to think about water-based animals. Or could it? No, because we'll drown. We'll drown. It's filled with water.
If it's a water-based animal, no, I'm not. No, okay, no.
Let's leave the water out of it because we'll just drown anyway.
Are we like a stick or something?
No.
Just bare fists.
Bare fists. You've got shoes on, which technically does mean you do have options of a weapon. They're Velcro shoes, though. You can't like make something with your string.
I don't think of that.
You can't even get range on that.
Do we have to kill the animal or just knock it out?
It is a fight to the death.
To the death. Because I was going to say, if we're fighting like a bear, do you think you can knock a bear out? I don't actually know if a human can generate enough. Oh, yeah, I'm saying I'd lose a fight, but if I got that lucky hit on. Anyway.
What, right in the nose?
Right in the nose. I was just wondering, can the human body generate enough strength to knock a bear out by punching it in the head?
I don't.
I mean, I guess it depends on the person, doesn't it?
I don't know how much force it takes to knock a bear.
You're like if Eddie Hall punched a bear, that bear would be fucked. That bear would have no head.
Yeah.
Like, how much force does it take to knock out a bear? I don't think they've done this experiment because,
That's why I'm wondering. I'm like, can we even do it? Or are bears immune to being dazed?
What? We don't have that. We can't beat their stun resist. Our numbers just aren't high enough.
No. I think I would lose to a snake.
Oh, that's a point
as well.
Because I reckon they're really fast at biting you. And I don't have a stick or anything to hold them away.
That is true. And I reckon, would you have the
clothes? I take off my top and I try and smother it and try and catch it before it bites me.
That's true, but now you're shirtless against the snake.
I don't know how fast my reflexes are compared to the snake.
If you manage to smother the snake, if you just stepped on its head when it's smothered in your shirt or whatever, would it just crush its skull?
That's true, but you'd have to
probably crush its skull with my foot, but I need to be able to get it in the shirt first.
Well, you could it could be like a bull where you do it strikes your shirt and then you wrap it around its head really fast.
But it's like, can you out dexterity the snake, basically?
Yeah. I don't think I could. I reckon he'd be able to get a sneaky bite on me.
Yeah.
Is it a poisonous snake?
I feel like it's poisonous. Strong enough poison. I feel like the thing about the initial
I feel like I could beat a non-poison snake. It'd hurt like hell getting bitten a load.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's one bite on you, and then you just fucking snap it.
It depends if it's like an anaconda and it squeezes you.
But I feel like with an anaconda, as long as you keep your arm free, and it wraps around, but as long as you've got one arm free, you can grab its head.
Yeah, and then you can do that thing where you take the snake's head and hold it aside, and it's useless.
I mean, it's easier said than done.
It is crushing you at that point, though. Like, you kind of want to just kill it.
Every time you move, it squeezes harder.
But that's what I'm saying. Say if it's on your arm there, if you just maneuver so that's underneath you and you put all your weight down onto it, I feel like you'd just crush it.
Remember, the snake's all muscle.
Yeah. They don't have a skeleton at all. Not even
no, it does have a skeleton.
Like a spine and shit.
Like, it's got a spine and a thing like that, and you know that whole body? Its whole body is muscle.
Yeah, but if you put all your weights down on its head, which does have a skeleton in it, it's
just get into its head.
But also, I don't know how fast
snakes are quite quick.
Yeah. Like, it's all about how fast it is, I think. Because with the smallest animal that you'd lose a fight to, a lot of the small animals you can kill in one hit, basically. If you get one good hit on it. But it has to be like, if it's fast enough, if it can leap and get your neck or your throat, you're fucked. But
yeah.
If the anaconda goes for an arm or a leg first,
I feel like if you held your arm out in front of a snake, though, it'd go for your arm. I don't think
you're fighting it.
I don't think the snake knows to go for the neck on a human. I think it's just going to go for where it can get. I don't think a snake understands the human anatomy, I'll be honest. I think it's just going to bite you wherever's closest to it. So if you stick your hand out, it's going to go for hand, and then You've got it in a grapple at that point.
It just depends if it's a venomous snake or not.
That's true. But
if it's a venomous snake, yeah, we're fucked. We can't. We're gonna get bitten at some point. Even if we win the fight by killing it, we're gonna die afterwards.
Yeah, unless the guy's got an anti-venom set up in this weird saw room that's been set up.
So it's a saw room now. We have Jigsaw talking to us.
Jigsaw's going, I want to play a game.
It's just Frank dressed up for Jigsaw.
Yeah, it's me. Just like, haha, I found several small animals. Can you beat? I think it's generally something that.
What about like a coyote or a wolf?
A wolf would fuck you up, Ben.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of an animal. I can't remember what it is, but it's like a porcupine sort of thing that's got the quills on it. That literally, if you touch it, it fires its quills out its back like a shotgun. And I know it's supposed to be really painful, and it can actually paralyze where it goes in. It's like a little thing.
I know that I've just opened up Google, and so therefore my fucking.
I've been trying to look at the entire night. I'm looking up quilled animals, and I can't find it. Unless I've spelled quilled.
No idea.
I remember Coyote Peterson on Brave Wilderness did a video about it, and he took the spikes, and they were like, "Yeah, this is really painful, guys." But then again, could I just kick it? Because I've got shoes.
You're wearing shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
You just boot it in the face, and it'll be out.
Yeah. So are we
so
poison venom.
Venomous snake, I think, would beat me.
That's true, but like.
But Ben, you played the flute, don't you?
Because you killed it first.
No, I played clarinet.
That's a point, actually. If you're really good at whistling, if you whistled at a snake like a flute, do you think it'd do the whole?
I don't think that's. I think that's more the snakes trained to do that.
Yeah,
it's not like
that is a good point.
the snakes hear a flute, they start dancing. They don't just get jiggy with it. Like that's not. I don't think that's how that fucking works.
But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the smallest animal I'd lose a fight to is something like. I don't think, genuinely, that any of us could take a raccoon in a fight. Like, if
I feel like a raccoon's going to be painful, but I feel like because we just outmass it, we can
still get like the initial boot in the face before they jump at you.
Yeah, raccoons are smart, though. Like, it'd go for the neck, it'd go for the face.
Yeah, but a raccoon would go for another raccoon's neck because obviously it understands it's a raccoon. But does a raccoon know that our neck is our weakness?
Well, like honey badgers go for the balls. And raccoons are smarter than honey badgers.
You got a point there. I would not like to fight a honey badger.
Like they straight up go for the
I think I could kick it across the room before it.
What, a honey badger? No, you fucking wouldn't. Lions don't fuck with honey badgers.
Yeah, but I've got to fuck with it. I've got no choice. I'm being tactical here. I'm keeping my distance. As soon as it jumps, fucking booting it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like we're prepared for it.
You know,
we know
honey
we have to fight.
Are like basically bulletproof. Their hide is tough enough that bullets can't kill. Well, low caliber bullets.
Well, it's a good job we don't have a gun.
That's true. What? So you think you can kick harder than a 9mm bullet can hit?
Yeah, but it's completely different. A bullet's
you just do it in blunt force, so you just make a brain rather than its skull.
This has been a very grim question. This. What about beating up animals?
You have to win this fight.
Is it this or death?
Yeah, it's just life or death, Joe.
Can I just die?
Is anyone going to know that we've killed an animal?
No. You're in a weird saw room. This is in the extra dimensional space where someone spawned you and an animal.
I'm throwing a curveball in here. What if it were like a rat and a rat had a disease? Because if that disease gets in you and kills you later on, do you technically lose the fight? Because it caused you.
If we kill the rat first,
we win.
Yeah, but in that case, I think I could beat a poisonous snake. I think I could kill it before the poison finishes me off.
Doesn't some of the venom paralyze you straight away? On some snakes.
On some snakes it does, yeah. What about that adrenaline? Snakes? Adrenaline though, Ben.
Does the adrenaline counter the venom?
Adrenaline wouldn't counter your fucking muscles. Just stop working. You'd be breathing heavily as you can't move.
Are we allowed an EpiPen?
No.
I'd wrap my shirt around my arm to the point that there's no circulation in it and just wave it about in front of that snake till it bites it.
But the problem is the snake is hostile. It's
coming for you. Bites your torso?
Yeah.
I think I could kite this snake around the room. I think I'm faster than a snake, I'll be honest.
Some snakes are pretty fast.
I'm faster.
Okay, if you say so. Well, what animal would you lose to then if it's not a snake?
Oh.
I feel like it has enough. It has to have enough mass to survive just being like booted and beat.
Because the thing is, I feel like even if that snake goes for us and we manage to kick it and its teeth don't go through our shoes, I think it's going to be knocked out. It's just landing that hit.
Yeah, and it all depends how.
And then once it's knocked out, it's just a question of stepping on it.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely, it's like a snake could kill me, but I think I've got a chance.
Yeah.
It's probably going to kill me, but I think I could do it if I'm smart and lucky. I'm going to say lucky.
I feel like a coyote would probably win.
I don't know, because coyotes are they're a pack animal. They go in packs.
That's true.
I feel like we have more
going all out.
But a coyote's definitely faster than us. It gets the strike first, but it's whether it can kill us.
Yeah.
And also, I think like it can bite harder in that initial thing. It'll be faster. It'd get that bite, and I think it's big enough that if you were like turn around and hit it, it wouldn't instantly go down.
Yeah, but I feel like you're up against a coyote. You can shield all of your vital spots, and then it's just going to end up biting you, and then you're in that grapple situation.
You're down to one arm. You hit it.
Well, if it's on your arm and it's in front of you, you just collapse in front of you and just lay on it, and then it can't get out. You outmass it.
Remember, it's got claws as well, so it'll be clawing at you.
I just think it'd do more damage than you could do to it.
Yeah, but it's not about damage. It's about who's finished first. So, who dies first?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to hurt like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that's going to kill you there is the bleeding.
Pain would just fucking ruin your body. Unless the adrenaline keeps you going.
You'll have adrenaline. Like, yeah, you probably won't even feel that pain at that point. It's like you said, it's do or die. You're in that zone. You're like, I've got to kill this coyote. And
I think a coyote would win.
Oh, I don't know, because they're not. Then again, talking about that, think about like a bulldog or a mastiff. Like, they're bigger dogs. But I mean, dogs are in terms of animals, they're quite small. But I think like a small, even a dachshund could like fuck me up. Like, dogs are lethal.
I don't have a lot of faith in my abilities, but I think I could fuck up a dachshund before it gets to me. As it sort of like waddles at me, wagging its tail. I've got shoes on as well, because I'm not going to lie, I could probably boot a dachshund into the other wall.
I just realised I said the wrong dog. I didn't mean that. Yeah, I think I could beat a dachshund.
Fucking hell. Because I feel like a coyote or like a medium-sized dog could take me out.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a German Shepherd as well.
Oh, German Shepherd defo fucking could.
That's what I meant to say. They are a larger dog.
Like, they're trained by the police.
I'm just trying to... It's thinking of these small animals that's hard. Like, is there any cat that I think could beat me? Probably not. Like, they'll hurt, they'll scratch, but I don't think they'll kill me.
House
cat. Like a lynx.
Yeah, a lynx defo, though.
Yeah, but how big is a lynx?
They're bigger than house cats.
And they're also like...
I think they're one of the smaller of the big cats.
I'm having a quick look on lynxes. I don't actually know. Height of about... Oh, they are quite small, actually. There's different types of lynxes, like a Canadian lynx, which appears a bit small. This is 48 to 56 centimeters tall. That's like a ruler. That's 2 rulers, sorry.
I'm getting my tape measure out.
I got my ruler.
48.
Like, that's quite big for an animal.
Like double the size of a house cat.
Like you said, a snake's like that. It's that small size that could definitely kill us, but I still think we've got a chance.
Just cats are
so this is how big, like... Oh, fuck.
Thinking about it, actually. In fact, no, we know about it. Are we going to mention that? Do you know that fish that's known as like the poisonous rock or whatever it is? And it's basically, it just looks like a rock on the floor and you stand on it and it's got like poison.
It's like an urchin.
It's like an urchin. I forget what it's called, but it's I'm going to look. Poison rockfish. How do you spell poison?
But we've already established that because we're in this room, there's no water, this fish is fucked regardless.
Yeah, we see that fish there, but how do we attack it? It's nothing like that, like...
It'll just die.
Yeah.
Something like a turtle. There again, turtle.
Turtle!
Imagine a snapping turtle though, like a proper snapping turtle. Like they're a small animal. They're super defensive. I don't think we could crack through their shell, even if we jumped up and down on it. And if it snaps at our flesh, we've got a big gaping wound.
If you pick up the shell from like the opposite side of the head and you just shake it loads, will it die?
Do you think you could shake it to the point it dies? I feel like you'd run out of energy.
I feel like at some point.
Like the problem with turtle is you have to go for its head, but if it's a snapping turtle, its head is lethal.
If I pick it up and just smash it against the wall, like the head part.
Yeah, but what if it just
how heavy a snapping turtle is?
Yeah, they are.
Well,
heavy.
Just think of the blunt force going through its body. It's going to cause some damage.
I'm looking it up now.
Because you can smack it really hard against the wall.
They weigh 10 kilograms. That's not actually.
We could pick that up.
Yeah, how much is that in pounds?
I don't know.
10 kilograms. It's less than you do on a bicep curl, Frank.
Oh, that's fair then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking easy. I could just yeet him.
Yeah, exactly. Turtles are easy.
Just fucking pick him up like that against the wall. Yeah, you're fine. Snapping turtle, because it lacks that agility, we could just, tool usage it with our monkey brain.
Yeah, but they are terrifying as snapping turtles.
Yeah, like if you
What about an alligator snapping turtle then? They're a bit bigger. But they're like they're the king of snapping turtles. They'll take your head off.
Could you smother it in your t-shirt?
Snapping turtles, actually, they're quite big. They're like the size of our torso. And heavy.
Okay.
I'll look about how heavy they are. Alligator snapping turtle.
I don't know.
I think these might be going a bit big, actually. Yeah, it's too big. But
I'm going to stick with a venomous snake.
Oh.
I'm thinking, like medium-sized, like wild dog, like coyote. Coyote could fucking take me out, or a dingo.
I'm George is going with snapping turtle.
No, I don't. It's a hard one because they're too big. That's the thing, though. I can't think of a smaller animal other than a snake that could win, but I still think I've got a chance. I'm trying to think of an animal that I've like got no chance against.
Yeah,
but
like a snake, I think probably would actually win. Like I don't know if it's a paralysis like venom snake, I'm fucked. I know I don't have the hand-eye coordination to like bid it.
Yeah, but speaking of that, is there any like fly or insect like that has venom and that's strong enough to kill us? Like a bee, but with really strong venom? Because I think a bee could definitely sting me without me even landing a hit on it, because it's a fucking bee.
I don't know. Remember you're wearing clothes as well. So there's only limited
just a mosquito with malaria in it, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, but that's a time thing, isn't it? Then again, a mosquito with malaria infects you. It sits on a wall where you can't reach.
Yeah, but
you just die of malaria.
While a mosquito is stuck in your blood, you can just smack it.
That's true. Now, wait till you pass out from a tiredness, right? And then
how long are we spending in this room?
Until you kill the animal.
As long as it takes for one of you to die.
Flying
just venomous to die of thirst.
I'm having a look at them now, and they're not actually venomous. They all carry like diseases, like mosquitoes.
Oh, that'll take too long.
Yeah. But
all you have to do is take off his shoe and throw it at the wall. If it hides up there.
Yeah, but you've got to think like bullet ants. Have you heard of a bullet ant?
No.
People actually die from this. It stings you and it sends you into shock. It's that strong. They call it a bullet ant because it's like getting shot.
I've got a shoe and it's an ant. As long as I know where it is, I'm fine.
Because that ant can't fly.
A bullet ant does fly.
All of them? Or just
a bullet ant flies. And if it stings you, it's instant. It's like being shot. And it paralyzes. Say if it stings you in your arm, it will swell up your arm and you'll be paralyzed. So I'll be honest with you, I don't think I could take like a bullet ant. Like, I think I'd go into what is it called? Allergic reaction. I think I'd have an allergic reaction or something like that as soon as it stings me, and I think I'd.
So like it might you feel like a bullet's hit you. Not gonna lie, that'd probably knock me the fuck down. Like I'd be out.
And it's fast and that big. It's like
I feel like if I can get that timing right and hit it with the shoe...
If it's that big, I reckon I can hit it out of the air.
Yeah, but even if you hit it out of the air, what's going to stop it from flying again? You've got to do it how many times, and it has to land one sting on you.
I reckon I can still take it.
1.5 inches, which is...
Yeah, I'm just looking at the worst stings. Bullet ants up there.
It's that. So it's like the size of my eyebrow.
The bullet ant doesn't fly. I'm thinking of the tarantula hawk. The tarantula hawk, which has the same sting but flies, and it is a little bit bigger.
I feel like
it's bigger than that. And...
if it's like 2 inches, I feel like I could hit that with my shoe.
Yeah, easily.
I don't know how fast it flies though, because if I fuck that up once, I feel like I would fuck it up. I've got awful depth perception. Yep, the fucking tarantula hawk wasp kills me. I'm fucking infuriated at that.
I genuinely don't think I could beat a tarantula hawk. It's 2 inches. 2 inches. So I don't
think I could land that hit right in time. If it's flying straight for me, I don't think I've got. Because bearing in mind,
do you know why it's called a tarantula hawk? Because its prey is tarantulas. That's what its sting needs to be. It completely paralyzes a tarantula. I mean, we're a lot
smaller than we are.
But when that poison's in your system, Ben,
it might be highlighted the
tarantula hawk wasp.
I don't think it's going to completely paralyze, but say if it stings you on your arm, I think your arm's out of commission. And it's not like a bee; it doesn't die after a sting. It can just keep stinging you.
Sting strength.
Say if it gets lucky and it stings you on your neck, yeah, you might slap it, and you might even kill it.
Oh, it's like an instant one. Okay, so they're relatively docile and rarely sting without provocation, but in this situation, it is hostile.
So it's trying to kill you.
It is among the most painful of all insects, but it only lasts for 5 minutes. One researcher described the pain as immediate, excruciating, unrelenting pain that simply shuts down one's ability to do anything except scream. Mental discipline does not work in these situations. It's near the top of the Schmidt Sting Pain Index, who is, I guess, it's second only to the bullet ant.
That's what I mean. I feel like I could crush a bullet ant because it doesn't fly, but I don't think I could stop a tarantula hawk from stinging.
And if it's going to sting me multiple times, I'm just fucking dead. I'm not going to lie. My body will shut down from that.
Well, you get stung once, you can do nothing but scream. It's hostile, it's just going to keep stinging you until you stop screaming.
Yeah. We lose. I say I lose.
I've got my question. I've got my answer. It's a tarantula hawk. 2 inches, beat that, boys.
I can't beat 2 inches. I think
No.
You're thinking too simple. Thinking of snakes, thinking of coyotes, tarantula.
I just thought insects could take out. It's only one of them.
It's all about whether or not you can time that shoe hit, but the thing is, though, it's going to fly straight for you, right? Do you think you have the time?
Yeah, but if you think about insects flying, they're very clumsy with the way they fly. They're
but it's hostile. It sees you. It's like, oh yeah, I see that cunt. Do you have time to take your shoe off and ready yourself for a swing, know where it is, and time that right?
I think it's just stung you, Ben, before you answered that question. You're now dead.
I just hit with my underwear. I can do it anyway.
It stings your hand?
It sticks your hand and you...
Well, it's going to be coming straight at me with the stinger. Not every direction. I'll just swat it
it's coming at you and it's ready to sting. It knows it's its weapon. And you're just going to go, no, get out of the way. And it stings you. What happens when you shove it out of the way? And it comes from behind you because you just shoved it behind you like an idiot.
You're going to slap it away with your hand. You're just trying to take your shoe off with one hand.
You've now lost sight of it.
I've done it with some force and be hitting like the floor of the wall.
But
you got to think, because it's so low on mass, it takes less force when it hits the wall. It's like with a spider, you can drop it from pretty much any height and it will survive because it's got so little mass to it. I don't think you'd be able to get it fast enough when it hits the surface to kill it or even knock it out. I think it's just going to get up.
And it's going to sting you. It just needs to hit you once.
Then it's going to beat you. I'm telling you now.
Like your best case scenario is a slap.
There's only one way to find out.
Okay,
which country is in.
We're going to go get a tarantula horse wasp. Release it in a room with Ben.
Tarantula horse wasp. What's that?
Sorry, not horse. It's just the tarantula horse wasp. It's just the size of a horse. Fucking runs at you with its stinger.
Do you think you can? No, I'm not asking another question. It's long enough.
Yeah, we're going towards the hour and a half mark.
Oh fuck, that's good.
Well, this could be a question for the audience. Do you think you could knock out a horse? Charging at you, do you think you could just boom?
No.
The horse is hostile. Anyway,
yeah. So
Tarantula Hawk wins. I beat
Tarantula Horse Wasp.
Yeah.
Glad we found that information. This is important information for what places in the world I need to avoid.
I don't even mention where it's from. Yeah, it is.
Oh, where is it from? It's from...
I guess in Americas.
Yeah, found it in America.
Just all across in the USA. It's in there.
I think it's North America.
Yeah, it just lives in Canada. How is it so hard to find where the fuck it lives in?
I just googled it and it says it's from the US. It just says it's from US.
Oh, they're in India, Southeast Asia, Africa, Europe, Australia, and the Americas.
In Europe?
Yeah!
What? They're in Europe?
They live in Europe, apparently.
Oh.
So,
let's keep your eyes open.
Don't go to any of the continents.
This is how the universe is going to enter a swarm of tarantula hawks.
No.
What do you do with £1 million? I'm going to buy some tarantula hawk wasps and release them.
If you buy all the tarantula hawks and release them, I'm pretty sure you get some pretty good ransom money.
I'm pretty certain that's a supervillain plan, George. I'm not going to lie. I have bought £1 million worth of tarantula hawk.
The next Bond villain.
I will release hawk wasps in Parliament. This is a threat.
That's a war crime, that is. Trapping people in a building with tarantula hawks.
That is a war crime.
That is.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think that's been a good episode. So I've been Ben.
I've been Frank.
Yeah.
I've been George.
And we've been the Confused Yorkshireman. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.
Don't
forget to listen.
Don't forget to listen. At this point, is that what we're going to say that?
Don't forget to listen next week.